All right, you lot, strap yourselves in for a trip back in time to a place where the bass hits harder than a line of coke.
Sounds promising.
Oh, it fucking is. We're going deep into Fabric.
Fabric.
The legendary London nightclub.
Ah, that Fabric. The one with all the awards and the whole closure thing.
The one and only.
Yeah.
A place that's seen more debauchery than a Roman orgy, mate.
That's one way to put it.
Forget your average shithole discos.
Right.
Fabric is where the cool kids went.
Yeah.
The DJs. The hardcore hedonists.
The real heads.
They all flock there for a taste of sonic heaven.
And maybe a little something extra on the side.
Let's be real. A bit of the naughty stuff too, right?
You can't have one without the other.
But this wasn't just some random piss-up.
It was a cultural phenomenon. A breeding ground for some of the most innovative music.
And a battleground for London's nightlife?
High stakes.
Damn straight. Fabric was a statement.
A statement.
A big fuck you to the squares.
The establishment.
It was all about freedom and rebellion.
Fueled by music that could melt your face off.
Literally. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's rewind to the beginning.
Back to the roots.
Back when Fabric was just a glimmer in some promoter's eye.
A seed of an idea.
Picture this. 1999.
The dawn of a new millennium.
The Y2K panic is in full swing.
And Fabric pops up.
In the most unexpected location.
Where?
Right across from Smithfield Meat Market.
Smithfield Meat Market. Really?
Oh, shit. Talk about a clash of cultures.
That's quite the contrast.
On one side, you've got bloody carcasses and the stench of death.
Lovely.
And on the other, a pulsating cathedral of sound, sweat, and probably more than a few dodgy pills.
Sounds about right.
Fucking brilliant, isn't it?
It's certainly poetic.
And speaking of contrasts, the building itself is a trip.
Go on.
Fabric took over these old Victorian-era metropolitan cold stores.
Interesting.
Massive brick behemoths, designed to keep Londoners fed back in the day.
Makes sense.
Now they're keeping them entertained.
And utterly fucked up.
You got it.
Yeah.
The contrast just adds to that raw industrial aesthetic.
It's all about the vibe.
But beneath that gritty surface, you've got this meticulously designed labyrinth of sound.
A sonic maze.
3 rooms, each with its own independent sound system,
Serious sound.
pumping out a symphony of electronica that could make a nun swap her habit for a pair of platform shoes.
Now we're talking.
But let's talk about the crown jewel.
The pièce de résistance.
Room 1.
Ah, room 1.
This is where Fabric went full-on mad scientist.
How so?
They introduced the world to the legendary body sonic dance floor.
Body sonic. What the hell is that?
I know what you're thinking. Sounds like some bullshit marketing gimmick.
It does sound a bit out there.
But trust me, this shit is the real deal.
A game changer.
A total game changer. It redefined what it meant to experience music.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
They installed hundreds of bass transducers under the dance floor.
Bass transducers.
These bad boys convert sound waves into vibrations.
Vibrations.
Vibrations you can feel through your entire body.
So you don't just hear the music.
You fucking feel it in your bones. It's like standing on a giant speaker.
That's wild.
It is. The bass coursing through your veins, shaking your bones, making your teeth chatter.
Full sensory overload.
Sensory overload doesn't even begin to describe it.
No wonder people lost their minds in there.
Especially back in the day with all the ecstasy floating around.
The good old days.
Everyone was loved up and vibrating on a whole other level.
Sounds intense.
But Fabric wasn't just about getting high and dancing on a vibrating floor.
There was more to it.
They were serious about the music.
Right.
Curating a lineup that showcased the cutting edge of electronic sounds.
They had their finger on the pulse.
They were the pulse. Fabric wasn't just a nightclub.
It was a cultural institution.
A champion of emerging artists.
A driving force in the evolution of electronic music.
And they put their money where their mouth was. Back in 2001, they launched their own record label.
Fabric Records.
The one and only. It was like a badge of honor, mate.
How so?
If you had a track on one of their compilations, you knew you'd fucking made it.
The seal of approval.
They released over 100 compilation albums.
That's a lot of music.
Each one was a carefully curated snapshot of the scene.
Showcasing the best of the best.
Everything from house and techno to drum and bass, dubstep and grime.
Grime.
That raw underground sound born in London.
Right.
Heavy beats, often political lyrics.
Powerful stuff.
They weren't afraid to take risks.
They pushed boundaries.
They pushed the boundaries of what was considered club music.
And they had a sister club, too.
Matter.
Matter.
Sadly, it closed down.
It did. But it was another testament to their ambition.
Their willingness to experiment.
And then there's Houndstooth.
Houndstooth.
Their label launched in 2013.
Ah, right.
Focused on showcasing more experimental and left-field electronic music.
The more avant-garde side of things.
So Fabric had the music, the vibe, the reputation.
They had it all. They were on top of the world.
Riding a wave of success.
Fueled by thumping bass lines and a fuck ton of good times.
The glory days.
But every good party has to end sometime, right?
Inevitably.
And for Fabric, the shit was about to hit the fan.
Uh-oh.
In a way no one could have predicted.
This should be interesting. So let's peel back the layers of this beast a bit more.
Yeah, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
The stuff that made Fabric truly special.
And what better place to start than with the heart and soul of any self-respecting nightclub?
The bar.
Close. But I was thinking more along the lines of the sound system.
Ah, the sound system.
We already touched on the whole body sonic dance floor thing in room 1.
Which was mind-blowing, by the way.
Absolutely. But that's just scratching the surface.
So we're talking next-level sonic sorcery here.
That's one way to put it. The kind of sound that doesn't just hit your eardrums, but punches you right in the gut.
I like the sound of that. Literally.
Fabric's founders were obsessed with sound quality.
Obsessed.
They knew it was the foundation of the entire clubbing experience.
Makes sense. You can't have a proper rave with shitty sound.
They didn't just want a sound system.
They wanted something more.
They wanted a sonic cathedral.
A cathedral of sound.
A symphony of speakers and subwoofers that could transport you to another dimension.
And they didn't cut any corners, did they?
Not a chance. They spared no expense to make that vision a reality.
So they brought in the big guns.
The best of the best. Acoustic designers, sound engineers, you name it. People who understood the science of sound.
And how to manipulate it to create an unforgettable experience.
Exactly. They wanted to create an immersive, almost spiritual experience.
So give us the technical details. What kind of wizardry were they working with?
Well, let's start with room 1.
The epicenter of the body sonic revolution.
They installed hundreds of Martin Audio bass transducers under the dance floor.
Bass transducers.
These ingenious little devices convert sound waves into vibrations.
Vibrations you can actually feel.
Throughout your entire body.
So it's like having a giant subwoofer pumping directly into your bones.
You got it. But it's more nuanced than just brute force.
How so?
These transducers are strategically placed
Okay.
and carefully calibrated to deliver a specific frequency range.
They really thought of everything.
They did. They targeted those low-end frequencies that resonate with your body's natural rhythms.
So it's not just about feeling the bass.
It's about feeling the music, the
Yeah.
pulse, the very essence of the sound.
No wonder people were losing their minds in there. It's like a sonic massage for the soul.
A full-body experience.
But each room had its own unique sound system, right?
That's right. Each room was designed to deliver a specific sonic experience.
Tailored to the music and the vibe.
Precisely. Room 2, for instance, was all about clarity and precision.
So you could actually hear the music properly, unlike some clubs where it's just a wall of noise.
Exactly. They installed a Function 1 system in Room 2.
Function 1, eh?
Known for its crystal clear highs and punchy mids. Perfect for house and techno.
Where every little detail matters.
You got it. Room 2 was for the discerning listeners.
The audiophiles of the clubbing world.
Precisely. They wanted you to hear every subtle texture, every intricate layer of the music.
And what about room 3?
Room 3, that was the wild card.
The sonic playground.
Where they could experiment with different sounds.
More of an industrial vibe.
You could say that. They went with a D&B Audio-Technic rig for Room 3.
A D&B system.
Known for its raw, visceral energy. Perfect for those heavier genres.
So whether you were into techno, house, or drum and bass,
Fabric had a room that would blow your mind.
they catered to every taste. Pushing the boundaries of sound, creating a truly immersive experience.
It's what set them apart from the rest.
Their commitment to sound quality was unreal.
It showed their respect for the music, the artists, and the clubbers.
They understood that the sound system wasn't just some piece of equipment.
It was the soul of the club.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about Fabric's impact on the music industry beyond the club.
Beyond the walls of Fabric.
We mentioned Fabric Records,
Their record label.
which became a tastemaker in the electronic music scene.
A platform for artists to showcase their music.
But what made Fabric Records so special?
So influential. Well, it was more than just a label.
It was.
Fabric Records was a curatorial force. A sonic historian,
A sonic historian.
documenting the evolution of electronic music.
Right.
They had this incredible A&R team
The talent scouts.
with an uncanny ability to sniff out the next big thing,
They were like the musical bloodhounds,
unearthing hidden gems.
championing artists who were pushing the boundaries. So they were the ones responsible for discovering all those superstar DJs.
In many cases, yes. But it wasn't just about finding talent,
He's about nurturing it.
giving those artists a platform.
The global audience.
They weren't just churning out records,
They were actively involved in developing their artists,
helping them hone their craft.
building a career.
They took a very hands-on approach.
They were in it for the long haul.
Exactly. And that's reflected in the quality of their releases.
Fabric Records put out some groundbreaking stuff.
Their compilations captured the essence of the scene.
They released over 100 of them, right?
Over 100 compilation albums, each one carefully curated.
Showcasing everything from established names to up-and-coming talent.
They were tastemakers, trendsetters,
And sonic historians.
all rolled into one.
But they didn't just stick to compilations.
They had their own stable of artists as well.
They did.
They launched Houndstooth in 2013,
Right, Houndstooth.
focused on showcasing more experimental, left-field electronic music.
The weirder stuff.
The more innovative, you could say. It was a testament to their commitment to pushing boundaries.
So Fabric was this multifaceted beast,
A hydra of musical innovation.
with tentacles reaching into every corner of the electronic music scene.
They had the club, the sound systems, the record labels,
A force to be reckoned with.
without a doubt.
But let's not forget the dark side of the story.
Ah, yes. The shadow that loomed over Fabric.
The shit that almost took them down.
The drug controversies.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off and dive into the shitstorm.
In messy bits.
The stuff that almost took Fabric down for good.
The drug controversies.
That's right, the elephant in the room.
A shadow that loomed over the entire club scene.
And ultimately led to Fabric's downfall.
Well, temporary demise at least.
Yeah, but it was a close call. In 2016, Fabric got hit with a double whammy.
2 drug-related deaths.
In a very short span of time.
It made headlines.
The media went into a fucking frenzy.
Fabric was suddenly public enemy number 1.
They painted it as this den of iniquity.
A haven for drug-fueled chaos.
And the authorities,
Facing public pressure.
and eager to make an example,
Came down hard.
they revoked Fabric's license.
And shut the whole damn thing down.
Just like that, it was over.
It was a devastating blow.
Not just for the club itself.
But for the entire community.
The closure sparked a huge debate.
About the role of nightclubs.
The responsibilities of venue owners.
And the whole issue of drug use.
It became a moral panic.
Fabric caught in the crossfire.
People were quick to point fingers.
Blaming the club for not doing enough.
But was it really that simple?
The situation was far more complex.
Fabric had a strict zero-tolerance policy on drugs.
Extensive security measures.
Sniffer dogs, searches the whole 9 yards.
But in a club that size,
With thousands of people coming and going.
it's practically impossible to eliminate drug use completely.
It's like trying to hold back a tsunami with a fucking teaspoon.
And this was at the peak of ecstasy use.
Not just in clubs.
Across society.
To single out Fabric felt like a cop-out.
A way for the authorities to deflect blame.
They weren't addressing the wider issue.
Fabric became a scapegoat.
A convenient target.
For a society grappling with a problem it didn't fully understand.
But Fabric wasn't going down without a fight.
Oh no, they fought back.
And it was a fight for the ages.
A testament to the power of community.
The campaign to save Fabric was epic.
It brought everyone together.
DJs, musicians, clubbers, even politicians.
Everyone had skin in the game.
They organized protests, petitions, benefit gigs.
They raised hell.
And they made sure their voices were heard.
And in the end,
They won.
Fabric was granted permission to reopen.
But it came with a price.
A long list of conditions.
To appease the authorities.
And supposedly make the club safer.
Increased ID checks.
More surveillance cameras?
A zero-tolerance policy on drugs.
Meaning a lifetime ban for anyone caught with anything.
Big Brother was watching your every move.
Did it kill the vibe?
Did Fabric lose its soul?
It's a question that's still debated today.
Some say the increased security created a sterile atmosphere
A sense of paranoia.
that clashed with Fabric's free-spirited ethos.
Others welcomed the stricter measures.
They felt safer knowing the club was taking drug safety seriously.
It's a tough balance to strike.
You want people to feel safe.
But you don't want to turn the place into a police state.
But hey, at least Fabric survived.
It could have easily gone the way of so many other clubs.
Casualties in the never-ending war on fun.
Fabric's resilience speaks volumes.
It's a testament to their cultural significance
They faced adversity head-on.
and emerged a little bruised but not broken.
Their story is a reminder
That even against all odds.
passion, community, and good music can prevail.
So what does the future hold for Fabric?
Can they continue to thrive in this increasingly regulated world?
Or will they eventually succumb to the pressures of conformity?
Only time will tell.
But one thing's for certain.
Fabric's legacy is secure.
They've left their mark on the world.
They've proven that a nightclub can be more than just a place to party,
It can be a cultural institution,
a catalyst for change,
a beacon of freedom.
in a world that's increasingly trying to shut it down.
Fabric's story is a reminder that the human spirit
Fueled by music and a desire for connection,
will always find a way to express itself.
even in the darkest of times.
So here's to Fabric,
The club that refused to die.
the beat that keeps on throbbing.
Until next time.
Stay safe, kids, and keep the party going.